Hey YouTube, this is Manifest 020, bringing a new perspective on your life. Today I wanted to talk about a little more along the lines of self-awareness. I keep talking about self-awareness, but I wanted to show you like a more of a real-world example, uh, what I mean. If you take this pen, for instance, okay, it's a pen. But when you see a pen, or when I say the word pen, then you immediately bring up all of these past experiences, these mind constructs, if you will, of what a pen is. We know that a pen writes, it has ink in it, we know what it's used for, we know that, one time it exploded and ink went all over us, or whatever our experience was with a pen. But sometimes we get so involved with these mental constructs of what a pen is that we don't see the pen for what it is. And it's this idea that whatever we experience in our reality, we're actually creating images of our reality. It's our creation. Because instead of actually seeing what the pen is, we see all of these mental associations with what a pen is. And we're so busy with these mental constructs of what a pen is that we don't see it for what it is. And quantum physics is really interesting because it talks about how when everything really gets down to it, it's nothing. There's nothing in there. I mean, you have an atom, and these electrons are flowing around. They're rotating about this axis of the atom so fast that it actually makes the atom seem solid. But there's nothing but space between the electron and the neutrons and protons. And when you get inside the neutrons and protons, you have quarks and other things. And it's just magnitudes of space, just nothingness. But it seems solid to us. It seems solid. I mean, I can bang it on something and it's solid. But when it really comes down to it, there's nothing here. There's nothing. And when we begin to realize how many things we put meaning to, we put labels on, we put assumptions, then we can finally see things as simple as a pen for the first time. Because we look at this pen and we see all of these mental associations that we automatically associate with a pen. But we realize that those are just associations, those are just past experiences, thoughts, emotions that we've associated with a pen. And we can finally see the objects around us for the first time, every time. And that brings about this new appreciation for everything we experience in our reality. Because you can look at any object around you, any thought, any emotion, anything, and we can look at it for the first time because we're disassociating ourselves from these mental constructs we have from our past experience. And when I talk about nothingness, I mean, what makes a pen a pen? What makes things, solid things, what they are? And I wanted to bring about this new concept, and it's not a new concept. You see it in all kinds of sources all over the place. This concept that everything is energy, and everything is a vibration. Everything is a vibration at a specific frequency, from our thoughts to electricity to our sound to anything. It's just energy. When we start to look at things on that level, that everything is kind of nothingness, that everything is this energy and vibrating, just frequencies, then you start to see things in a different perspective. And one thing I wanted to touch on was social interaction. I mean, have you ever just been in a social place like a bar or just somewhere that people hang out, you know? And all of these people are interacting on this level of energy. They're all exchanging energy. So instead of like just listening to the words that are, you know, that they're communicating between each other, you start to listen to their motivations and what the energy exchange is between two people. And when you see it on that level, you start to see people's real motivations. You start to hear the words that they're not saying. And this can be a scary thing because you start to see some qualities in people that I guess aren't pretty. We all think that we have to get energy from our external selves, but we can create energy. We can realize that there is energy everywhere and that we're always connected to energy, and then we can always give energy instead of taking it. So I'd really like to just kind of give an assignment out to whoever's watching. Just go out to a social location where there's a group of people just interacting, having a good time, you know, whatever. But instead of just listening to their words, be aware of their body language, be aware of that subtle energy exchange that happens at all times, and see people for what they really are. And the more you do this, and the more you do this with yourself, like even your interaction with your environment on that level of an energy exchange, you begin to understand why we do things and why we behave in a certain way and why we are emotional about certain things. So it's really all about this social awareness. And if you realize that everyone has energy and they don't have to take energy from other people, they can give it, because we all have infinite amount of energy to give to people, then you see this amazing effect. One person can raise another person by giving them love, by giving them energy and encouragement and inspiration, and that person can turn around and return those same good intentions, and then you're raised, and then you can give that back, and it's this perpetual state of raising awareness and raising appreciation and raising your high and your love. So I wanted you guys to just play around with that idea that when we see a pen, we associate it with mental constructs. We're constantly creating our reality, and we are differentiating our reality from the true reality, from what's truly going on. So play around with that and let me know how it goes. Take care. Peace.